この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Furipu Frappas, episode 3, Flip Flappers, episode 3. I just finished rewatching episode 2 of Flip Flappers. I just rewatched it, and I imported it into my video editor so I could go through it and frame by frame things that I wanted to, which was nice. And I've got some thoughts on it, so we're gonna start with those. The first one has to do with the upcoming episode's title, Pure XLR, and I kind of had a realization as I was watching the episode earlier this morning. We had input, which was where Kokona transformed, and we had converter, which is where Paprika transformed, and now we have XLR. And I just finally had the thought, the input and the converter are two things that are generally connected by an XLR cable. So I have a feeling, and I don't know if this is accurate, but we'll see, and it might be. I have a feeling that they are both going to transform in this coming episode for whatever reason, and that'll be cool, and it'll probably be kind of different or special or interesting or different somehow. I don't know. But just because XLR cables, if you think about the whole system here. Focusrite Scarlet. It's an analog to digital converter. Phone to a digital signal that can be transported via the USB cable into my computer so that it can be used. And the microphone is the input. So that's the converter, and the thing that goes between them is an XLR cable, the thing which ties them together and connects them. So they might both transform this next episode. Anyway, in the previous episode, episode 2, it's a weird one, and it's split into a couple of different segments, but Kokona awakens after a dream, which she knows is not a dream. Her glasses are unbroken, so not everything that occurs within the world of pure illusion actually occurs to the real objects that are taken there, but some things do because later we see Kokona with injuries all over her. So, at the very least, injuries sustained by the individual, sentient creatures who go into pure illusion, whatever the fuck it is, end up actually coming out the other end. Okay. Paprika is a goofball and just, yells Kokona about 1,000 times, which could get really annoying, but she has a really cute way of saying it, so I don't mind it too much. And Yayaka basically is having none of it all over the place. Again, Paprika, we notice that she's injured, and she says a couple of lines. She says, "The tunnel only opens if our feelings are in tune, and I'm not strong enough to go alone," implying that there are people who are strong enough to go alone, and somebody in my Discord pointed out that maybe that's referring to people like Yayaka, who we know is involved in this somehow, but we don't know how, and she doesn't seem to have a partner. She seems to be doing this on her own, so maybe that's referring to people like her, and maybe she's working for Flip Flap, or a rival organization, or none of the above, and we're just being misled. I don't know. In any case, we discover that I don't actually know how to say that name because the way that it's spelled and the way that they say it in the actual Uekuskiru, it's weird, has snuck into her bag, and so she's all worried about that all day, and then also stressing about the fact that she's got this weird redhead girl who's, chasing her around the world on her hoverboard, which then turns even more awkward because a mysterious transfer magical girl, Paprika, just kind of appears and makes Kokona super awkward. There is, so Kokona just flees from her. We get kind of a chase sequence, I guess, a little bit, into the bathroom, out of the bathroom, down the hallway, across the other place, and finally finds refuge in the nurse's office, being ushered in by Yayaka, who kind of hides her away. And when Paprika comes up to the door, she has a really strange response to, I think, the smell of the nurse's office. We focused a lot on Paprika's ability to smell things and, tell the nature of the objects or the scents that she's smelling and understand, she smells sweet things and sweet things are good, or she smells bad things and bad things are bad. So there are kind of two options here. One is that she smells Yayaka and has some kind of response to that, but she didn't react that way when they met earlier on the bus. So it seems like she's probably smelling the nurse's office, and there's either something evil there, or she just really doesn't like the smell of disinfectant. So, I don't know. And then we get another interesting scene where we get a lot of information from what is unspoken when Yayaka kind of reaches out and grabs Kokona as she's trying to leave the nurse's office. She reaches out and grabs her as though she's about to deliver some kind of omen or warning, like, hey, keep your distance from this crazy shit, you don't want to get involved, but she doesn't say anything, so we don't actually know what she was going to say. Papika wanders around for a little bit until finding herself in front of a big, dark, kind of spooky painting where she is met and then addressed by a green-haired girl from the art club, I think, who eventually they talk a little bit about what art makes the green-haired girl feel, and then she gets an invite to come back to the art club. We'll see if that ever comes up again. I have a feeling, given the artsiness of this show, that it probably will. And eventually, we go ahead and start arguing outside, Papika and Kokona, while Uekuskiru gets accidentally sucked into a strange vacuum cleaner that appears to be an automatic Roomba thing that exists underneath a giant statue of the Thinker. Okay, they start looking, they finally get their feelings in tune, you could say, in order to find him, and boom, they are inside the vacuum cleaner world, and we are here. It gets really crazy with the color, and the bunny stuff, and the other things, and I didn't put this together, but some wonderful person in my Discord did, so thank you. It's Alice in Wonderland, yo. Chase a rabbit down a hole, and all these, oh geez, and all these things happen, and it's all crazy, and even the bottle, once the vacuum cleaner starts whipping up near the end of it, the bottle that smashes is kind of reminiscent of the giant bottles in Alice, and there's no way that would be sucked up by the said vacuum cleaner thing, although it did manage to suck up an entire rabbit, so who knows. Yeah, so all of that happens, and we meet Uekuskiru, who in this world is basically Kamina. He's just a cool dude, humanoid, furry person with a dope-ass cape and lots of loyalty to Kokona. And they try to gnaw their way out of the bars of this weird cage that they get into before they get plunged into lava. And eventually, Papika does her transformation thing and saves them. Wonderful. So both of our characters have now transformed, and they have not transformed together, and that's probably the next stage, given the Mahou shoujo thing that we normally do in Mahou shoujo. We introduce each character, where they have their thing, they have their transformation, and then we start working as a team. So I'm looking forward to that. This feels like the point where the story can really start taking place. We've got our character introductions, we've got a little bit of an understanding of the way that this world functions, but not at all. And now we can start taking off and actually maybe delivering a little bit of exposition and information about what Flip Flappers is, or what Flip Flap is, the organization, why they want these things, what it means to liberate pure illusion, which is a line that Salt throws at them, that, I don't know, it just muddies the waters on Salt even further. He is presented to us in very classic bad guy framing and shown to us as kind of a bad guy. He doesn't seem to have anybody's best interests at heart, but his stated goal, is to liberate pure illusion, and we don't know what that means. Liberate it from what is the big question. And then there's one other thing, which is they actually navigate through some of the area of Flip Flap, this building or place or weird other pocket dimension realm. And there's a lot of nonsensical architecture, which again, somebody in my Discord managed to figure out the meaning of. Dr. Salt tells one of the other two to take them to the Thomason. And somebody figured out that Thomason is also a name for a form of conceptual art, and it's kind of semi-defined as an object which, just like a piece of art, has no purpose in society, but also, just like a piece of art, is preserved with care to the point where it appears to be on display. And the examples that you can find of this are staircases on the outsides of buildings that have been remodeled to not have a door there, so the staircase goes to nowhere, and we see a couple of staircases like that in the environment and in the building that they're in, and just other bits of nonsensical architecture, things that have been left and preserved but no longer serve a purpose, and because of their nature don't really have a creator, they just exist. There's no artist that you can say created that conceptual staircase. It's just a thing that emerged from society and change and individuals, and that makes it even more artsy and weird. So that's an interesting thing. We'll see if anything about that ever comes into play and has anything to do with the Thomason besides, like, design elements of the Flip Flap headquarters place. But I don't know. And then I made the mistake of watching the preview, which we will cease doing at this point because they are spoilery, at least as far as like big changes in the way that the show is going to function. Because we saw some moments of like Mad Maxy type of weird desert world fighting on speeder thing. I don't know. It looked pretty cool, and that's probably where we're gonna end up this episode somehow for some reason with our two weird magical girls who have no idea what they're getting themselves into, or at least Coconut doesn't. Papika might, she just doesn't seem to care or have any sense that what she's doing might be weird, which is scary. Okay, so there go 10 minutes of recording time. At this point, let's just stop blathering and go ahead and watch episode 3 of Flip Flappers, shall we? I've got the episode up and ready to go. It's sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction as usual. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. If you'd like to do a syncy thing and sync up your own copy of this episode of Flip Flappers with the timer-based version up on YouTube, you're welcome to do so. Just get your copy ready because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. Let's go crazy. Alright, we're immediately in the desert. And that's Papika, and this is strongly referencing something. What was that? Dead plant or something? Okay, so she is alone. And what was that? Did you see that on the right side of the screen? Because I saw that and I have no idea what it was. Is that the form that the robot thing took in this world? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know what I'm reminded of by that opening sequence with her in the cloak with the goggles just walking into frame. It reminds me of something specific and I can't place it. It's one of those tip of the tongue things. Fuck. The obvious place that my brain goes is Gurren Lagann with the desert atmosphere and the torn cloak, as well as Simone's goggles. But then I also think of Tsunobozu, Desert Punk. But that's not right. It doesn't matter. Hmm. Okay. They're sand people. That's not a coconut. Oh, jeez. They're just scared of you. Yeah. You're not really going anywhere. Whoa. Yeah, short limbs? Not intentionally. Oh, thanks, little cat mask wearing person. You have water? Yeah, glug. Our most precious resource. Alright, so this is Dune. Welcome to Arrakis, where we ration our water. Ooh. Yeah, every drop counts. Aw. What the fuck are these creatures? Oh, and they are They're the village from Mad Max, and he's the bad. Oh wow, this is straight up full on Mad Max then. Rowers on a Viking side. Hey, it makes sense. Desert Raiders versus yeah, all right. Where are you from? Another realm. Did you? That sounds like us. Probably. Hey, potatoes are good. And we're being attacked. Gonna ruin the crops? But if you ruin the crops, there won't be more crops. Oh, yeah, alright. Okay. Well, that guy's gonna die, probably. There we go. Yep. Oh. Oh. Oh, now you fucked up. Can she just break the bonds? This brass-balled bitch. I'm Papika. Hi. Oh, hello. Oh my god, she's the leader? No! Coconuts the leader. She gonna jump on top of it? Please. It's the most badass thing that an anime character can do. Ah, damn it. Is this coconut asserting her authority? Well, just shaking that drink. And busting her free. Yeah, that's coconut. What? Coconut? Why are you doing this? Has she been brainwashed? What the fuck? Okay. Yo. Yo, this track. I mean, she's moving like that. Who else could it be? The what? I'm not gonna write it down. The what? The foundation of our world, the dance of, hey, we're going superpowered. Clonk. Get out of here. Ah, and they're both out. Okay, her hair fades, and she's back up. Did that snap you out of it, Coconut? Oh, it did. Oh. So that mask has power in and of itself? Precious water. Real flower-like. He just said she's cute. I'm sorry, what? I didn't. What the fuck? Okay, so we're getting this whole story out of order. Cool. That makes more sense. Is this the enemy? The one who is oppressing pure illusion or whatever that it needs to be liberated from? Um... All I can think is that one episode of Rick and Morty. He likes it. It'll be fine. Maybe. Nope. Oh boy. Okay. Wow, and Boo is now her simp. I'm sorry, what? Guys, you're gonna die for that. Please don't die for that. Oh boy. There was like skin color underneath that. Okay. Oh, please no. Get that girl some food. Whoa. Whoa. It's in her thigh? Hey, what up? Thanks for the food. Bunk. Yep, that tracks. That's a big fucking potato. Now you eat some. And become all shiny too. And we're getting attacked. Oh, they're both it. Now you fucked up. The duo transformation. Thought so. Sure. It ain't Naoto Shishida, but I'll take it. Alright, again, that focus. Okay, so their transformations mirror each other. We get our lines. it's freakier. Okay. Cure berry. All right, now we fight. And it's hopeless. That was a face. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Never mind. Oh yeah, that's gross. What are their weird weapon things? Bye. Wait, what? What? Oh, we gotta have our finishing moves. Oh, oh. Of course, double beams. And we're losing. Oh no. We gotta fight harder. There we go. I guess we did it. That won't be the last time we see her, right? Yeah, you do. I believe it. Aww. Oh, yep, that's not the end. Oh, Yayaka. Totally. Oh, wait, no, it's the two white, the white hair people. Oh, it's three. So it is Yayaka. With the fire behind her. Whoa. Hmm. Hi, Ayaka. Alright, it melted into gloop. And it's got a thing. What's that? It's a grief seed. It's a grief seed. A bye-bye? Oh. I would maybe not look in there because it could close. Oh, Jesus. That's the evil organization that we think is evil, but we don't actually know if it's evil. Okay, so they're in a different place. I was gonna ask you. Asclepius is the staff with the serpent, right? Which is what their tower is modeled off of. I don't know what that means, dude. What? CD is so good. Yeah, tripping. Alright, there's a full minute left, so there's something beyond just the preview. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, late for curfew? She only lives with her grandmother, though. Oh, she missed cram school. Oh, I got transported to a crazy, your grandma's an audiophile. What's up? Thanks, Grandma. You're pretty cool, Grandma. Okay, we're gonna stop there. I'm gonna go to the very end where we can see pure equalization. Hey, we're following the theme. And we finally have, for the very first time, some kind of reason why that might actually be the thing that we're doing. Grandma here has what looks like a record player and what looks like a really expensive fuck, I forget what those are called. Audio audio. Shit, I forget the word for it. A big box. Put all your signals through it. Connect it to your speakers. I forget what it's called. Whatever. And nice speakers and stuff. So, I mean, these are the kind of devices that would have equalization and XLR cables and input and converters. So, just throwing that out there. Anyway, super weird minor detail that probably actually doesn't matter at all for the thing. But hey, it helped us predict that there would be a duo transformation, and there was. And it was okay. The henshin itself was okay. But I'm spoiled on henshins because, one, I just finished Symphogear XV, which has, like, some of the best that have ever been put to paper. And I've also seen a lot of Precure, which has some of the best that have ever been put to paper. And I don't know who did these henshins, but it wasn't Naoto Shishida. And sorry, it's just not gonna be. Okay, this was the craziest, strangest episode of Flip Flappers thus far, and I'm sure that won't last long, that we're gonna get crazier and stranger as we move along. I said it before, but I'm not sure. I feel like this sequence is, like, super close to a sequence that I've seen before in anime, and I don't know where. The whole walking out of the desert in center frame feels more like a specific movie, an older movie, maybe Lawrence of Arabia? Nah. Well, if it is, I doubt anybody's gonna go and watch that long-ass movie to try and find that sequence. And then the cut to the feet, and then this, and the reveal that she has goggles, and then the weird ship that just exists here is very strange. And then we get this cat creature, which actually is our enemy coming to fuck with us for some reason. We don't really understand what kind of enemy she is or what her deal is. Okay, and we get a ton more, although it's little things, it's still a ton more than we had on these two white-haired kids and on Yayaka, and their whole deal, including the organization that they seem to be working for, which seems to be, they were chanting Asclepius, and I wanna look that up to make sure that I'm not misinterpreting that. Asclepius, demigod hero, son of divine Apollo. What's the deal with his staff? The rod of Asclepius, a snake-entwined staff, remains a symbol of medicine today. Those physicians and attendants who served this god were known as the Therapeutae of Asclepius. Okay, and we see their place with a spiralized thing and spirals everywhere, but everything else is very blocky and strange. And at the very top of it, it's got like a winged scepter kind of look to it. Okay. And they give off the impression of a deeply religious organization or cult of some kind. And we drop this bead into the thing, and it whips around the spiral as though it's heading up to the top where that glowing orb is. And then they chant Asclepius, Asclepius, as it sits at the top of this almost Mayan-inspired pyramid-y thing. What the fuck? Okay. Interesting. I think definitely the strangest so far, since we have no idea how we got into this situation. Like, the whole Dust Bunny sequence was weird, but we understood, sort of, how we got there. And in retrospect, I understand it better. We aligned our thoughts to try and get to Uexukiru, and so, boom, we're in it. Here, we don't know how we got here. We kind of get a little bit when this character person, the purple girl, talks to Coconut outside of it, but I don't know, man. All right, there's some heavy Mad Max inspiration going on. We've got a desert landscape with a shortage of water as well as food that's just barely eking by, and then we've got these masked giant warriors on their sort of sand sailor things, and lots of very metal aesthetic stuff. As well as, yeah, just the spikes everywhere, the skull idea, symbology everywhere, and then that really sells it is the spikes on the front of the thing with the people tied to them. Yeah, full on Mad Max. Cool. And it's a submarine that's been repurposed into a flying Viking longship, which actually makes a lot of sense if you think of Vikings as like nomadic raiders, kind of. Then that's exactly what they would be on the desert. So that's pretty cool. Pretty weird. Okay, made a wish and it split in two, and this whole time we're being led along by this character. All your water and your grub. Yeah, this is a pretty badass moment here. Drop dead. Shinu fires, just catches it. Fuck yeah, Papika. That's cool. The brass-balled girl, and we finally see who the enemy is, and it's Kokona herself, but she's been entrapped, sitting on a throne of awful, with a mask of awful. It's actually a really cool mask. I kind of like it. Some cool fighting stuff goes down here until the really cool fighting goes. And it's so weird. Like, we keep having these cutaways to strange moments within the town, like this destructive battle is going on, and this bartender guy is just shaking up a drink. He notices it, keeps on shaking. Okay. That's pretty fucking cool. 6 eyes, alright. She's all yours, Lady Kokona. And here we go. The fight that they have, the actual fighting sequence, is fucking dope. Teleport out of the cloak. I don't know where I've seen that before, but I've seen that before. The teleport in. Really cool smears. And the stretches on Papika's arm length. Like, her arms overextend past where they should. To give us that impact. Boom. No chance. Where is my Kokona? And then they say that's the illusory divine fist. Part of the foundation of this world, right? We are about to witness what you could call the secret foundation of our very world. The Dance of Miracles. What? This gets pretty fucking crazy, though. This is a really cool cut. Very classic-y, very old-schooly. Very cool. Okay. And we bonk her on the head. Both come back. Everybody's fine. This guy says that she's cute, and we translate that to being flower-like, which is weird. And everything is great. Until she shows up and reveals herself, and she is fucking scary. I'm glad you remember me. We don't get this character's name, but, I want to know what her voice actress is. Because I feel like I recognize her. She had a really distinctive voice. So, my anime list. Flappers. Characters? Oh, there she is. Welwitchia. Aki Toyosaki. That's a familiar name. Who are you? I don't know who you are. Somebody in Jewel Pet. Oh, she's Yui! What? She's Keion Yui? Which then makes her Tomo in Seko no Quasar, and Uehara in Railgun, and oh, okay, and Aoi in Eurocamp. That's Yui? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, it is. I can close my eyes and picture Yui's face saying that line. That's actually nuts. Okay. That blows my mind a little bit. Okay, so we enter into this place. Where'd she run off now? Where I found her, she's really gonna get it. And it is a wretched den of scum and villainy. And it's all women who are all nude except for their gimp masks with ball gags. It's little bits of hair flying out. Jesus, what the fuck, Wawichia? And statues of the same, and it's just orgy. It's just orgy time all the time here. Which again, it reminds me very strongly of that one episode of Rick and Morty of all things where they end up in, I think it's a dream. It's where they're chasing somebody through the dreams and end up in a specific dream. Get stepped on by a relatively sexy, scary witch lady? Cool. Sure. And then clamps the mask onto her. And says that the mask does only one thing. It only increases the emotions that you already have. It only amplifies them. So you must have already wanted to hurt Papika. There's a metaphorical and symbolic layer to this episode. But it's not as clear-cut, not to say that the previous episodes were clear-cut, but it's not as clear-cut as this one, as the previous episodes. Boichia acts as a bit of a temptress, like a succubus character, who then, when spurned by the other two, becomes a monster. So you could examine it from that angle. You're the one who hurt her. Did hurting her make you feel better? But she's also a sadist and gets off on seeing other people do things that they wouldn't do otherwise, and seeing other people hurt each other, and specifically hurt the ones that they care about, the ones that they love. Deep down, you must have wanted to hurt Papika. All I did was give you a push, and she takes pleasure in that. And then the raider dudes start, like, hey, get away from our cute leader. Stop that. She pushes the arrow out. There's a moment where there's, like, skin and water as it pulls out. As though she's plant-based? Maybe. She's the Wicked Witch character, sort of. And she grows parts of her, like, it reminds me of Yukako's hair in terms of the animation, but it seems to be more plant-like, as though she's growing planty things. But hey, everybody from both sides of this seeming conflict end up starting to work together, and then she starts to taunt Kokona further. The mask's power only worked on you because you're empty. Korappo. You have no identity. So you couldn't stay in control of yourself. Really calling out the core thing that we've seen in Kokona from the beginning. You don't know who you are, you don't know where you're going, you're undecided, you're uncertain, and so you're nothing. And so you can be tempted, and so you can be pulled into becoming the villain. Because you're nothing. And then you would be something. And you took out that anger or whatever it was on the person you care about. Repression and release. Temptation, temptation. I'll make you somebody. I'll just take your fragment then. And here we get confirmation that the fragment itself is lodged in her left thigh. Which also... Okay, we talked about this during Plunderer, but positioning an object very near the groin allows characters to, like, interact with each other's crotchal regions without it actually being overtly sexual, but it is definitely sexual, and this is definitely a sexual moment. Waluigi is physically and sexually assaulting Coconut, holding her by the throat and feeling up her inner thigh, at which point Papika is gonna have none of that. Ba-boom! Hello. I ate something tasty and now I'm all shiny. Here, eat this. And here we go. So, we henshin, and at this point I went in my brain went, oh shit, this is Precure. How do I You have homework. If you're watching me watch this episode and you've made it this far into the discussion, you have homework. Go and watch the first 3 episodes of any season of Precure. I would recommend Heartcatch because it's probably the best one. Go and watch the first 3 episodes of any season of Precure and pay attention to the format of the henshin and the way that the battles always play out. Because they always play out the same way. And the henshins always play out the exact same way. Character henshins, character says some line and then introduces their name. So like the flower Precure, cure flora, right? Will always happen. Every Precure henshin, that's the way it will go. And then they fight with the bad guy, and then they ramp up a super move, sometimes a combo attack, using some object which is generally a saleable real-world toy item, like a Linkle stick or a magic thing or a heart perfume or whatever. Use some object that's shiny and colorful and usually white plastic with like fake gems embedded in it is the look that it goes for, which we get here. So look at each other, confirm that we're going to transform, do the transformation sequence, come out of it, state something about yourself, and then your Precure name, or in this case, your pure name. They always say cure berry, cure peach, cure pine. It's pure whatever now. Okay. And then we do our finishing cleansing move, which is usually a giant laser beam of light stuff that saves the day and generally results in the monster being defeated. This is that. This is exactly that, and it's so on the nose of how that it is. Oh. There wasn't a subtitle when we first saw it. But it says transform, right? It says henshin. I actually don't know. Oh, it does. Transform. Cool. All right, we get both of them. They're pretty cool transformation sequences. And then we say our line. My passionate feelings will repel all things. Make the pose. And then the background comes in. Pure barrier. Okay. Cut and slice and shear all things foul. Pure blade. All right, barrier and blade. So it's shield and sword. We shall pluck you. And then we get our group pose. Full on JoJo style. Boom. It's pretty dope. And that's the lively tater for you? Okay, sure. I guess that's the food that they ate. And then we fight the thing, and it's pretty cool. That's a face. Jesus. We get some special moves. And then this whole sequence, which is really cool. She's like using her they look like strawberry things or the top of a tomato, but they're on her waist, on her pants, and using them as like spider legs to climb around. It's real weird. Super creative, though. Lots of crazy explosion things and debris stuff and craziness. So Pure Blade gets a giant fucking blade, and that's her weapon. And yeah, oh, it hurts so much, but I'm a masochist. Oh, God. Some great faces. Look at that. That's great. And some crazy stuff. Really awful monster thing. And she's got shields, almost as wings. Cool. Cool. So barrier and blade. And then they combine them together to do their special move after being rocketed around the world a couple times and then flying back in. Sure. All right. And then we expand the thing into a gigantic thing. Use it to shoot a gigantic laser beam. After combining all our powers, one of them aims, the other one's holding it up. She gains semi-Kamina glasses, kind of, but they're more like butterfly glasses, I don't know. And we fire the giant laser, and it's not quite enough, and we're being beaten back, but then we go full power, and we do it! And we win. And then we apologize to each other, and everything's okay. And then Yayaka and the two white-haired kids show up, walk through flames like badasses, reveal themselves, find a thing that they call an amorphous. Which doesn't seem to have anything to do with the gems. The wish-granting crystals. It seems to be a different collectible item, right? Or maybe it is. I don't know. But it's basically a grief seed, right? It's the core of whatever Welwitchia was. So are we going to get more things like Welwitchia? Or was this just a chance encounter that lets us know what Yayaka and her organization is going after? I have no idea. The two white-haired kids are, like, super stoic-y, and we got that from them earlier, but, they're twins, it seems, given that they're the same height and have the same hair color and identical eyes and stuff. They seem to be twins, or at least brother and sister. Maybe clones? Maybe artificially created people? I don't know. They don't seem to have much in the way of emotion, though. And we find out what happens when you stick your head through a portal to another dimension. You get wibbledy-warped all the way there and stretchified, which is really scary. And you get to see a little bit of weirdness. So, those are the same robot things that captured Papika at the end of episode 1, right? Which we never addressed. We never addressed that happened. It just didn't happen. But those are the same robot things. And I thought that they were sent there by Dr. Salt, but they don't seem to be. They seem to be part of this enemy organization. Okay. So that's Papikana. All right, so he is actually saying Papikana. Like, that's one word. In my head, I was like, was this a translation mistake? Arega papika, comma, na would also work, I think. My Japanese isn't super good, but I think. But no, he's saying Papikana. Okay, she's got more of a name. And, wonder if that has any relation to the way that coconut is spelled. I don't know. Drops the thing into the thing, it spirals its way upward and is real strange. She is immediately ignored. They're coming directly at us now. So they're familiar with whatever this organization that's fighting them is. We'd just be sitting ducks. And they are not only more capable to move through the world of pure illusion, but they don't seem to have as many like barriers to entry. They don't seem to need the whole synchronization thing or whatever. They've got a different doorway in, a different method. So this sort of recontextualizes Flip Flap as like a scrappy group, a scrappy rogue organization that's trying to save the world but doesn't have much in the way of resources. Okay. Okay. And once again, we end with a Dr. Salt quote, right? That's our last line before ED. There is a way. That's it. Okay. There is a way. We've known each other for a long time. We see the grandmother, and she's pretty cool. Just call and let me know if you're gonna be late. Lovely. Alright, I would call this a bonkers episode. Starting in Mid-Year Race in a different universe that we have no context for. Our two main characters split up, trying to find each other, or at least Papika is trying to find Kokona. Lots of weird Mad Max inspiration, some crazy fighting, some weird, almost Star Wars-y Cantina-y inspiration as well, some more crazy fighting, a weird mask thing, the eventual reveal of the true villain of the episode. It's this Welwitchia person who is ultra hedonistic and very gay, which is pretty cool. And attempts to tempt Kokona. And sort of succeeds at some point. Until Papika reawakens her with some tasty foods. They do their definitely pre-cure transformation, do the fight thing, defeat the person, discover that they're not the only ones targeting someone like this. Hold on. Did they each get 1 glasses? They did. When we start firing... Oh, okay, never mind. No, Papika gets the 1 because she's aiming down a sight. Got it. So, okay, Kokona's got 2. Cool. I thought that because I had seen Kokona get the 2, I thought that they had, like, split off somehow. Nope. We celebrate a little bit, and then we meet Yayaka and friends, who very swiftly deal with the villain who gave us all of the trouble in the world. And they have, like, mechanical augments more than anything else. And super suits. Kinda. Collect the grief seed, or whatever it is. Call it the amorphous. Your hole looked like it was pretty high up. So we all use holes to get in and out. But they can create them at will. It seems. Whereas we have to go through the one that brought us here. And no idea how to get to it. Alright. Well, it feels like I've just been handed... It feels like this in every episode. But it feels like I've been handed, like, 10 pieces, random pieces of a 1,000-piece puzzle. And, like, maybe 1 or 2 of them look like they're edge pieces, so I can figure out maybe where they go. But I don't have enough of the pieces to actually see any kind of idea of what the major picture is. I've just got, like, little bits of color, and I'm like, I don't know where these go. So we're at, like, 30 pieces of a 1,000-piece puzzle now after episode 3. Great. Okay. Okay. Well, as we've done before, I'm going to let this episode settle in and think about it a little bit. I'm sure that there will be people in my Discord who will point out useful things about this episode as they have in the previous 2, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you do notice anything that I missed in this episode, or if you've got your own interpretations of it and like an idea of what our metaphors are going for and what we're trying to do with this episode, then throw them at me in the comments. I'd look forward to reading them. And yeah, otherwise, I'll see you next week for episode 4 of Flip Flappers. Peace.